What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we have to break down the Scream trailer. Now, firstly, and let me just say this before we jump into literally looking at every single scene, I think they showed way too much. I love the trailer. I love it quite a bit, but I will say upon watching it about 4 times so far, and I'm going to watch it as I'm talking to you guys, I think that there's just way too much in here, and I think that they spoil quite a bit of the movie. I think we can figure out quite a bit. So if you don't want spoilers, or if you don't even want my opinion on what I think is going on in this movie, obviously turn away now. But we're going to go through every single scene in the entire trailer. So starting in the beginning, now the first, I believe, like 50 seconds, 52 seconds is the opening attack, seemingly. Now, we can go into the leaks, we can go into the rumors. I'm not going to do that, but we see Jenna Ortega as character, okay, Tara Carpenter, that she gets attacked by Ghostface. Now, again, even if you never saw the leaks or the rumors, which is totally cool, this obviously has all of the signs of being the opening attack of the movie. Now, it is very cool. Obviously, you see a little bit of a text conversation between her and her girlfriend, which we know, her character's name in the movie as well. So they're texting on the phone, and obviously Ghostface is calling. Now, they don't show a lot of that stuff, which I do appreciate that. They show a lot of the attack on her, but they do not show a lot of, obviously, I think, a conversation between her and Ghostface. They really just show her, I think, hanging up the phone, right? Which means he had already called her in the scenes that we had seen in this trailer, okay? But obviously he's playing with the door locks, right? She's got like an automated system on her house, which is a pretty cool twist. You have to make these things modern now. You can say, well, why does she have a landline? That's fair, but I think landlines still do exist. But, you have the text conversations going on, which is a bit more modern, and then you have, obviously, the automated locks, which are a bit more modern, and he turns them off, she turns them back on. Now, the thing that's interesting, right, is that in one of the scenes, we do see her open the door and she gets cut by Ghostface on the outside. But then the attack that we also see later in the trailer, Ghostface is on the inside. Now, that could very well indicate 2 of them. At the same time, again, there's a lot of missed scenes. And as we've seen, even like in Scream 2 with Cece, right? The idea of setting the alarm and basically getting distracted, right? And allowing things to happen that you don't actually realize are happening. Those things could all very well be happening in this, that we don't see in these scenes. So I'm not willing to say right now that it definitely means there's 2 ghost faces. I think there could still only be one. In fact, the movie kind of indicates, in my opinion, that there is only going to be one, but, it's something to keep in mind. And she gets brutally attacked. Now, again, it doesn't look like she dies from the trailer. I won't go too much into the leaks, but I never thought she was going to die in this, so I think that's going to be a safe thing. She's just going to get very badly injured. And another thing you can kind of reference, too, is you see the hospital over and over again. The hospital seems to be a really big location in the entire movie. Why would they be at a hospital if not for somebody that, was attacked? So again, you see Ghostface both different ways. I can't tell by height or anything like that. She reaches for the door. Maybe the door will end up saving her. Then we have a nice little scene. We kind of calm down a little bit, right? Dewey tells Sidney that there has been 3 attacks so far and that he feels like this time it's something different. And he asks, do you have a gun? And she says, I'm Sidney Prescott. Of course I have a gun. I don't know if I love that line. It's pretty it's cheesy, and Scream, I don't know. Do you consider Scream cheesy? But, kind of getting her back in there. Now, I guess what you can read in from that. So Dewey, obviously, and I think the trailer overall does portray him as a man that's kind of lost his mind in a way, which is actually really, really cool. I don't mind it whatsoever. He's kind of this old, he's an older man, and he's trying to, almost in my opinion, right, like a one-man show. Like he's going to try and figure it out all on his own. He kind of goes rogue, it seems like, in the hospital that we'll see later, but trying to get Sidney to come back. It's not exactly how I imagined you could get Sidney back. After all of this stuff, you just phone call her and say, hey, there's been 3 attacks. Now maybe there's more there's obviously will be, right? More dialogue to that conversation saying like, hey, here's the names of them. Here's how they're connected to you. Here's how they're connected to what's happened in the past. Like obviously it's starting up again and they're attacking these people when maybe they want you or maybe they're going to come after you. So, you have to come. So that's something, that I think they are not going to say obviously in the trailer, but I would imagine there's more convincing that would need to be done in order to bring her back. Then we see the character named Vince. Now, I was wondering why he doesn't have a last name. Now, I do think his last name will probably be of some sort of importance. It probably will link in some way to maybe the original movie or to a character that already exists. That's the theme. That's what they talk about on the couch a little bit later. But I was wondering, okay, well, do you not give him a last name because he's not important? Well, the thing is, the next scene, obviously, right, he's checking his car. He turns, I think, the light off or whatever, and then Ghostface is standing directly behind him. Now, it doesn't show anything there, but later on in the trailer, I'll try and get you guys the picture. I believe there's a person that gets thrown to the ground. Now, I don't think there's any blood. There's no, visible signs of anything, I guess, harm done. But I believe it's him still. You can tell by his hair. So you could say, well, maybe it's like a scare routine. Maybe he's in on it. Maybe somebody comes outside to stop all of this and Ghostface runs away. But you see it here. I mean, what else do you think Ghostface is going to do to him? And then you see it a little bit later, he gets thrown to the ground. So I just have a feeling this is his death scene, which again comes to why I think they're maybe showing too much. Then you have Samantha Carpenter, right, Tara's sister, meeting with Sidney. It seems like it's at the hospital because you can kind of see the background. Looks like a hospital setting. You also have Jack Quaid's character, Richie, right, standing next to her. So Sidney says, hey, I'm Sidney, and she says, I know who you are. And Sidney says, look, I've been through this of many, many times. Now, before they show kind of a quick reel of all the characters we get in the movie, you do see a very quick frame of Ghostface walking out of Stu's house. Now, it's blurry, and I think it's blurry to kind of blend the lines of, is this the scene from the first movie, right? Or is it the scene from this movie? You can't exactly tell, although if it was from the first movie, I believe Dewey would be on the ground because he would have been stabbed by the knife. Now, you do not see that, but yet again, he's kind of blocking where Dewey would be. So I think it's probably this movie that they're showing that from, although I guess technically it could be something else. And then we go through the character reel, right? So we have Minda Meeks, okay, a relationship, obviously, to Randy and Martha. We have Amber, who is Tara's girlfriend, and these are just kind of quick shots. We have Liv, and we have Chad, again, Chad Meeks, and Liv McKenzie, Casey Becker's next-door neighbor. We have, a good old Dylan Minnette as Wes, okay, Wes Hicks. And again, Sidney's basically just telling them, this isn't going to stop. He's going to keep coming for you. Then you have Sidney and Gale, from what people are saying, now you can't technically tell, I think, from the picture, but I do believe everybody, right? They're looking at Stu's house, and Sidney's like, you ready? And then Gale says, for this, never ready. But then we start to see, again, what I think is to be way too much. You literally see Chad limping, holding his shoulder and limping, running away from Ghostface. The screen flashes many times, and Ghostface catches up to him. So I really don't see a way out of this for him. Again, these are things where it's I don't know. They're not showing the full thing, so it's okay to an extent. But at the same time, you can already eliminate suspects. So right now you have Liv, you have Wes. You can limit who now we believe. You even have Tara Carpenter, right? Jenna Ortega's character. You're limiting now who can be Ghostface, which I don't exactly like whatsoever. I get it. You can't really do stuff. Then you have Amber, I believe. She's screaming. Now, I don't know why she's screaming. We don't know where she's. I can't tell. It could be a hospital, but also definitely doesn't look like a hospital in the background. So I don't know exactly where she's at. We see the infamous shot of Melissa Barrera's character inside of Stu's house, which is very, very cool. Then we see Ghostface attacking somebody in the hospital in the wheelchair. Now, I'm going to level with you. I keep staring at it. I can't tell who that is. I mean, we can tell who it's not. It doesn't look like a girl, okay? Maybe it's Richie, but he's not injured that we've ever seen in the movie. So I don't know who this is. Again, it doesn't look like Tara, but it also doesn't look like Kyle. It doesn't look like any of that stuff. So I really don't know who the wheelchair person is. I'm sure you guys will be able to figure it out insanely fast. Maybe, no, I was going to say maybe Mindy, but it doesn't look like her either. Then you see Dewey explain to them there are rules in order to survive this, which I feel like you should have given that to a different character other than Dewey, but here we are. There's nothing really you can do about that. Then it, again, starts to get a little bit scary. You see Dewey in the hallway of the hospital, so he's kind of gone rogue. I assume, again, Ghostface is going to the hospital to finish off Tara. That's just, I think, a worthy assumption, right? And Dewey probably gets tipped off to that, and he figures it out, and he goes. Now, another thing that's interesting is you can see on this couch, right, when Melissa Barrera is saying, like, all of these incidents are related and all that stuff, you can see who's left at the time. You know what I mean? So you see her, you see Richie, then you see on the other couch, you see Wes, you see Chad, and you see Liv. So again, like, now there could be another couch, there could be a couple more people, but like, so we know Chad's gone. So like, now, you know what I mean? Like, now we're really limiting it of who's left. There's only like 3 to 5 suspects, which is still a lot, I guess, and there's room. But especially if you have 2 killers, now you're really limiting who it could be. And I think Liv honestly seems like it. Actually, yeah, Amber is on another couch, so maybe there's another person there somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. More quick shots. You see Dewey again in the hospital. I'm terrified for this man. I do not want... I was okay with him, the idea of him dying. I am not okay with it anymore, like whatsoever. I'll be flat out honest with you. I'm just kind of afraid of for his life, because later on you do see a confrontation there. Now you see more quick shots. Sydney's looking at at Stu's house, which again, I don't know. She could be looking at Melissa Barrera. She could not be. You see Judy Hicks screaming and running down, or I guess driving down the street. Could be for Wes, because maybe there was an attack at her house and Wes is there, so she's really scared, really angry and going there. So that's something. You see Sam running through the hallways in the hospital. So again, I don't know if the hospital is going to be... They're making the hospital out to be like the big thing. I think Stu's house is still going to be the big thing, but maybe there's 2 big things and it's both of them. That's just kind of what I kind of understand. Now again, now we get the shot one more time of Kyle getting thrown to the ground quite violently, and I hope I'm getting it right, and it is him. I just don't think he's going to necessarily make it. Sydney says like she's not going to rest until, he's dead. This Ghostface killer is dead. She shoots somebody outside, or she aims at somebody outside, I guess. I don't know, her aim's not perfect. Actually, her aim is actually always kind of been perfect. So I doubt she'll hit Ghostface in the scene, but it does show her aiming a gun. Then we see Dewey. Dewey does, in fact, face Ghostface, and he does a pretty okay job. I mean, Ghostface goes to lunge at him, like goes to overhead stab him, and he catches the hand. I wanted to make sure the knife didn't go through Dewey's hand, but no, he's fine. You had Melissa Barrera turning around, does look like Stu's house. So again, she's the final girl. That's what this whole movie is kind of building up to be. You see Ghostface again in front of Vince's car. Again, he's as good as dead. Then you see Ghostface with Richie in the hospital. So again, this could very, very well be a red herring. They could just be attacking Richie to kind of throw them off, which again would indicate 2 Ghostface killers. He slashes. He very clearly gets slashed on the arm. Now, they don't show anything, but like that happens, so we'll have to see how injured he is, I guess, after. Maybe the biggest scene that's kind of scary is you see Gail very distraught, like very sad. She's screaming, and she's like lunging out for somebody, and then you see, I think Sydney is the one that kind of is holding her back. So I don't know if that's Dewey. It could just be somebody else she's grown to like, but I really don't know who else it could be than Dewey, which again, really, it scares me. There's a ambulance in the background, so yeah, I'm not exactly happy with that. Again, they're showing, I think, too much there. You see Kyle again it seems like he's a goner. You see Melissa Barrera stab somebody, so it looks again to be Stu's house. You see Ghostface breaking Tara's leg, all this stuff. You see somebody on fire. You see Amber. She's very much hurt, so again, we don't know if she's going to make it. You see Mindy about to get stabbed. Actually, this is the shot that they showed yesterday in the promotional pictures. That's the same window, door, like half door thing behind her, which is the picture that they showed in the promotional pics. The same angle, or not exactly same angle, but same scene. So again, I think she's gone. She wasn't even on the couch with them when they were discussing everything. So I think she's going to be one of the very quick opening attacks. Sydney enters Stu's house, and you hear, hello, Sydney. It's an honor. Now, I don't think that actually is what is said to her in the moment. I feel like she's going to answer a phone at some point and Ghostface will tell her that, but it's still, it's an amazing line. I love that line. It's probably my favorite if you think about all of the Hello Sydneys throughout the franchise. That's probably my favorite one. And then she aims a gun, but I think she's just aiming a gun specifically like she doesn't know where Ghostface is. She probably knows Melissa Barrera's, or, Sam is in there. So she's like, okay, I'm going to investigate. And that's pretty much it. So there's a lot here. You see a lot of characters, I think, bite it. You see characters come close. You see Gale very sad that somebody did die, potentially, which, again, could be Dewey. So lots to talk about, in future videos and theories. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you're subscribed. I will be doing more videos as the weeks go on, the days go on, and I hope to see you guys there.